Sir, can I shake your hand?
Yes, thank you. Asante.
Ishinga, auna elani, maswali mengi kwa waita, auna elani. Na unakuwa ujasiri ni mwana wa mfalme. Na unakuwa ujasiri ni mwana wa mfalme.
And we murder their ego with our eyes and bury their esteem with our words. The dark-skinned are not spared either. You hear people referring to them as walking night scenes. Those with pimples, acne, stretch marks, baby tummies are not left either.
We should be able to appreciate that some of our children have talents in other areas. Some of our children, when they come forward, when they step forward, for those of us who are parents, for our community, that they are good artists, that they have talents in different, gifted in a different way, that we should not treat them as though ni watu manga. And I can confidently say, in my team, I have many who are graduates who have been in this space. Chipukizi is here, you know. For those who think Chipukizi is doing this for fun, I want to tell you I pay Chipukizi. And he is not cheap. This guy, you know. The Secretary General of the ruling party, Cleo Malala, is a product of art. KJ here, a member of parliament, second term, is it? Second term member of parliament of Dagoretti South, is a product of art and creative economy. Dennis Itumbi here, that young man, is a product of the creative space. You know, so we have many who have graduated from that space. And I want to tell our young girls, young children here today that you too have a future if you can perfect, if you're disciplined, if you can perfect the arts space. And it is the reason why I was deliberate when forming government on matters creative economy. I did consolidate many of the art issues around the Ministry of Sports and Art under Ababu Namwamba. But I also gave him instructions that we cannot leave our children behind. That is why we are spending money from the Sports and Arts Fund in this drama, in this festival, in this concert, because they form a very integral and very important part of how we can develop this whole industry from the bottom going up. When we start with our children in school, we are sure to build a solid foundation for them to explore their talents into opportunities that will give them the chance to be their best, to display their talent, and to be the great men and women that all artists anywhere in the world are. The Executive Committee, under the dynamic leadership of good Professor Joseph Odhiambo, deserves special commendation for effectively executing this task. Wapige makofi huyu mungwana. Na the whole team of adjudicators, directors, producers, and everybody else in between, pongezi sana. Congratulations. Tuwapige makofi tena jameni. These are great people. I commend also the work of the government agencies that have supported this year's drama and film festival, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, the Communication Authority of Kenya, the Kenya Universities and College Central Placement Service. I saw the great lady here. Brook East Africa, the IEBC, Brook are there, pongezi sana, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, amongst others. And I want to say thank you very much for the exemplary work you're doing. You have all our support. I also wish to thank the Ministry of Education for organizing an all-inclusive and exhaustive co-curriculum calendar, including on the performing art. The banditry in the up north, I mean, we got to learn that women can actually stop war, you know? And using what looks weak, they have managed to bring to an end situations that would otherwise cost life and destroy property. I think it is important for us to know the strength of what society can be if we marshal all our assets and resources, whether they be men or women. And I want to promise our children in those areas, in the North Rift, that the government of Kenya will make sure that the challenge that our children go through, many schools have remained closed for many years. I promise them that listening to the girls from Santa Maria, the government of Kenya, as I undertook to the nation, is inspired to make sure that all our children go to school. We have mobilized. I saw the girls here say, whether you have informed the police or the army or the Air Force. I want to tell you, we have mobilized the police and the army to go to the North Rift to make sure all our kids go back to school. And they will be there. It doesn't matter for months, even for years, until we sort out the challenge of banditry, until we make sure that we open every school, and until we make sure that every child is in class. We spend a third of our budget, 650 billion shillings every year, in educating our children, in primary school, in secondary school, in our TVETs, in our universities. Yet, after we have invested 650 billion shillings every year, we have refused to think what will happen to this huge resource when they get out of either school or college or university. That is why we have 5 million young people today who do not have jobs, yet we have spent huge amounts of resources to get them where they have got. And it is the reason why in this year's budget, we are asking ourselves, how are we going to create 5 million jobs? How are we going to make meaning of the 650 billion shillings we spend every year to educate our children? How do we allow such huge resource, educated at great expense, to go to waste because we have not organized how they are going to get jobs, how they are going to deploy their knowledge, how they are going to deploy their talent? And that is why we have a plan on the employment of the young people in our budget this year.